Tonight I'm going to explain by quoting Mahastipatthana Sutta text so that you can understand what Buddha originally said regarding these six internal and six external bases, how a meditator should see them. Now, quote, Ida Bhekwe Bhekhu Chakhonja Bhajanati Rupeja Bhajanati. Disciple, the meditator yogi knows this is the I'm peace, and that is the sight, external peace. So a meditator should see I, the seeing agent, as the I, function of the I. And the object being seen is the sight. He should see them clearly without any personification, without assuming it as a person, but only two bases. When the internal base of the body comes in contact with outside sight, the seeing process arises. This is what I explain in most simple language. There's no person in terms of Robert or Jenny or Burn or Wayne, etc. Then Buddha continued to explain, quote, Yencha tadubayam padescha obechati sanyojana tencha bhajanati. Any factor, any mental reaction that arises out of seeing the sight, meditator should know that mental reaction. In this case, there are various kinds of mental reaction which may arise. If the sight is ugly, aversion arises. If the sight is pretty, and a feeling of likeness, feeling of the liking it, or the desire arises. If that sight is something which can cause confusion arises. So mental states arise based on the nature of the sight. This is a mental reaction called the sanyojana. Sanyojana means factor, bondage. Bondage, various emotional state that keep living beings in the samsara. Because living beings are always bonded, always in bondage, dying with those kind of the emotion. We always continue reacting. The more we continue reacting, the more wholesome or unwholesome mental state continues to rise. This way, we always remain in the samsara, in the life and death cycle of the samsara. So this is what it means. Out of I am sight seeing, and then mental reactions arise. This is what should be noted by meditator. If we see the beautiful side, desire arises. Note that if we see ugly thing or someone who won't dislike, then aversion arises. Note that aversion. And that's why meditators are required to see. Whenever they see, they should note as seeing. No, they should not let any subsequent thoughts, follow-up thoughts arise. A computer on a tray. In certain city, there are computer trains or computer buses. People use the computer trains and buses to go to their work. Finally, they are on the train, they see a lot of people. But they are not bothered with these people. They have only indifferent attitude. They don't need to inquire about who you are, where you going, etc. And also, when their train is moving, they just only look through the window, but they don't pay attention to anything. In the same way, a meditator's seeing should be like that. A meditator should not pay any specific attention to the sight one sees. Instead, know it as seeing, and then resume primary object of meditation. This way, any sight, seeing will not disturb. What Buddha says is very clear. Any mental reaction, such as desire, anger, sadness, confusion, arise out of seeing the sight. A meditator should know that angry, or desire, or liking, or disliking, etc. Seeing should be noted. Also, any mental reaction, any kilesa or defilement which arise out of seeing should be noted. That's what it means. Now, let me continue to explain. Yathaja anupanasa sanyojanata uparo hodi tenja bhajanati. Any defilement, any mental emotion which arises out of seeing, meditator must know the cause, why it arises. He should know the cause. Also, he should also know how to remove that defilement, that emotion from the mental flow. You should also know the cause, why that emotion arises, and how to remove it. Once he knows he can remove by noting it, he must also know how the remove emotion cannot arise again. So 3 procedures. When emotions arise out of the seeing, he should note it. And then he should also know the cause. Why this emotion arises? Why this desire arises? Because he thought the sight is pretty, beautiful. Why anger arises? Because he viewed the sight as ugly or disagreeable, etc. So he must know the cause. and he must know the way to remove. The way to remove is just only see that desire and that anger as nobodies, just only impersonal, temporary mental states. When he sees that, he will be able to remove them. If we see, I like it, oh, this is a very beautiful flower, this is a very pretty person, this is very ugly, and this is my enemy. If someone put any individual, me and I, into that same process, that anger and that desire will stay, will persist, it will not disappear. So in seeing the sight, the meditator should understand the seeing eye and the object seen are only physical components. Nobody's seeing consciousness arise out of contact with the eye base and the sight. And does that arise because one view it as a pretty beautiful? Anger arises because the person views it as a ugly or disagreeable, etc. He should know detail and both ways. This is how to note the sight when a person sees the sight. Hearing also the same thing. Now regarding the eye base, ear base and sound, Buddha said, quote, Sotinja Pajanadi, Sadeja Pajanadi. A meditator should know the ear base and the sound that comes in contact with the ear. Not as I'm hearing. There should be no eye. Just only see things from the viewpoint of the phenomena. Also, Buddha said, Yenja Drupyam Padeja obesity Sanyojana Tenja Pajanadi. Any mental reaction, emotion, which arises out of the sound is to be noted by meditator. Raja Nupanasa mental reaction based on the hearing arise. A meditator should know the cause. Raja Upanasa Sanyojanata Pana Hoti Tenja Bhajanadi. How those emotions, mental states which arise out of hearing can be removed. A meditator should know. Raja Binasa Sanyojanata Adi Nuparo Hoti Tenja Bhajanadi. Meditator should also know how these mental reactions cannot recur, cannot happen again when hearing such a sound. A meditator should know. The instructions and explanations are very simple. It means that when a meditator hears the sound, do not view it as I'm here. Just only view it as ear base and the sound, external sound, come in contact with ear base. That's why hearing happens and hearing consciousness arises. And all emotions which arise, such as the anger or desire, all such emotions should be noted. And their cause should be noted. The way to remove them should be noted. And the way not to let them occur again should be known. Very simple. Once you understand that, you will see how Buddha is Buddha's instruction is very complete. And hearing the sound, do not let emotions arise. Even if emotions arise, you must note it and remove it by mindfulness noting. And also make sure that those emotions do not arise again. How? By maintaining continual mindfulness. It will not occur again. Now, let me go. Ganinja Pajanati, Gandreja Pajanati. Ganinja Pajanati means the meditator should know the nose base as the nose base, not someone's belonging to, not belonging to someone, just only the nose. Gandesa Pajanati. The smell that comes wafting through the air, moving through the air. One should understand that smell. Yinja Drubhyam Pleja Obejri Sanyojana, Tenja Bjanati. Any mental reaction that arises out of smelling that smell should be noted with mindfulness. Yadaja Nubanasa Sanyojanata Ubara Hodi. Tenja Bhajanati. How? Desire, anger, or mental emotion, which are not happening yet, arise now. Desire does not arise. There's no desire before smelling. There's no anger before smelling that bad smell or that good smell. The moment one smells those kind of the smell through the nose bead, desire arise, anger arise, etc. One should know those defilements which have arisen, just arising out of this smelling process. Yaraja Anubana Zamana Uba in Zabnadi. Yaraja Ubana Zamana Pana Hodi in Zabnadi. A meditator should know how these mental emotions arising out of smelling should be removed. Yaraja Pinaza Samadana Adinuba in Zabnadi. And also a meditator should know how these emotion, mental defilement cannot arise again. So a meditator should know all these things, should note. First thing, you should understand and note it, and also remove them, and make sure they don't appear again, they don't arise in the mind again, by maintaining mindfulness. Now, regarding the time and the days, Buddha said, quote, Zainwan Zabdanadi Ra Sejab Janadi. Meditator should know the time base and the days. Yadaja Jinja Drubhyam Brisa Opisiris Sanyojana Tenja Janadi. Any mental reaction which arises out of the contact of the tongue base with the teeth should be noted mindfully. Yadaja Nubanasa Sanyojanata Ubarahodi Tenja Janadi. How the mental emotion which have not arisen before come up, one should note. And Yadaja Ubanasa Sanyojanata Panahodi Tenja Janadi. A meditator should know how to remove these mental emotion reaction arising out of the contact of the tongue base and taste. Yaraja pinada sanyojanada adenu barhodi tenja bajanadi. A meditator should know how these defilement emotion would not arise again in the future. A meditator should know. Regarding this, I would like to share a practical thing happened. My assistant monk, he liked to chew the betel. He cannot give up his habit, even though I asked him to remove that bad habit. He cannot get out of that bad habit. Why? He thought that the taste, very bad taste actually, coming out of the chewing is good for him. He is attached to it. If we explain this situation in detail, he accepts the taste as pleasant. He doesn't see any health consequence, any negative health consequence, such as tongue cancer, throat cancers, and also the many bad consequences, such as the teeth broken down, and the gum lines are also very ugly. He doesn't care about that because he has addiction. His addiction is a sanyojana fetter, like the shackle. He cannot break through these strong shackle, mental ropes, which happens in the form of addiction. He cannot get out of that. He cannot cut through that shackle. So situation is very bad. Now he get out of that bad habit. You can see similar thing all over the world. People having addiction to particular unhealthy food, or people addicted to very bad habits such as drug and substance abuse, etc. All this is happening because they lack mental training. They don't know how to cut through the cycle of addiction. They don't know the role of the mind, the role of negative mind, the role of positive mind. In this case, mindfulness training is to develop the positive mind, very strong mind, which clearly understands everything based on analytical wisdom. There's no I, me, just only physical components of the body and mental components. Physical phenomena, mental phenomena functioning together in a synchronized manner. We're just trying to personify. This is me. I like this. I don't like that, etc. Through mindfulness meditation, one starts seeing everything as combined function of various elements. In this case, the tongue, physical element, physical components of the body, the taste, also quality of the physical food that one keep in the mouth, put in the mouth. Once they come in contact with the tongue consciousness, according to medical science, brain processed the taste, according to medical science, but according to Buddhist psychology, the tongue consciousness arises, the tasting consciousness arises. Then based on the nature of the taste, desire arrive. Oh, this is very good. And this like it, they eat more and more. For example, unhealthy stuff, MSG containing, sugar containing food, they are very tasty. People like the sharp taste. Only for a health conscious people, they don't prefer anymore. They just take whatever food, healthy, even though the food may not be tasty. So the role of the mind and mental wisdom is very important in removing desires and anger or any negative or mental state. That's why I'm explaining this Ayurveda section in detail. This way you will appreciate Buddha's great wisdom in helping living beings to break through the cycle of addiction, the cycle of suffering, by noting these 6 internal beings, 6 external beings, how contact of these 2 relevant beings creates mental emotion, mental state, how mindfulness can break through the cycle of the mental reaction and suffering, how a meditator can get out of that cycle. Very interesting. Lack of knowledge on spiritual development is very bad. We are lucky to understand how mental training and mental development can benefit us in our daily life. Buddha's teaching, especially aim at overcoming suffering. It also teaches us to live through suffering. Meditation actually is a way of immunizing our mind through wisdom and knowledge, through practical training. The mind can be trained. You have to understand. Even though it has no physical nature, it can be trained. It can be refined. But we need determination, perseverance, and also hard work. It's not an easy thing. You cannot expect instant results. The real positive outcome will slowly come up after persistent long-term practice. Lukewarm interest on again, off again practice is not advisable. If you are practicing meditation, you have to practice regularly. This way, the mind slowly gets used to observing various mental and physical phenomena. This way, the mind will be able to move through various challenges without fear. It is very beneficial if we train the mind systematically. Here in Mahasatipatthana Sutta Discourse, what Buddha says is very simple yet practical. Now you see by yourself. I share you what Buddha said. When a meditator tastes the taste on the surface of the tongue, he should know them as union of the physical components. Out of the union, out of contact of the tongue and taste, the taste consciousness or the ability to aware, to feel the taste arise. Out of that awareness, desire or aversion or various mental states arise. A meditator should know why those mental defilements which have not arisen before come up. Why and how a meditator should remove those mental emotions skillfully. A meditator should know. And also a meditator should know how those remove mental states, emotions will not come back again. So, instructions are complete and sufficient to manage tasting of the food, so that no addiction, no desire, no aversion, no mental reaction will come up. Even if they come up, one must know them mindfully and let them go. One must maintain mindfulness all the time so that those developments will not come up again. It's very simple instruction. The same thing can be applied to feeling, sensation through the body, thinking, and remembering various kind of mental objects, etc. Tomorrow morning I'm going to continue to explain the remaining two. May all of you be able to apply mindfulness meditation in your daily life. May you benefit by your mindfulness practice.